Hello. The aim of this video is to explain the details of MCC approval and the workflows. Here, let's have a quick overview on the workflows at first. Here are the workflows listed. This is the flight log workflow. The flight log process is starting with the OCC integration. Actually, this OCC integration means the flight plans transferred by from the commercial department. So this part of the integration consists only the flight plans and also the movement message for the flights performed, and this data is transferred from ground operation database. So the first actual informations and the delay informations are transferred into the system by this way, and afterwards the data was corrected by our ARX system, which contains much more reliable data than OCC system, but this system is updated in 2 days. So the ARX, after ARX integration in our system also we have much more reliable data, but it will take 2 days up to the situation, up to the operation. And after that, this step is the closing step. This is the last step of flight log integration. This step is closed by our data and statistic group when they take the hard copy of the data logs and control the system and match the system with the hard copy. And here is the DSR system. DSR, actually there is a missing 2 groups. Also DSR can be opened by the engineering department. After engineering department opened, there is a process for DSR to get approved by the MCC department. After MCC department approval, the DSR is waiting for child work orders to closed by engineering department. So after this status change by the MCC members and the maintenance manager, DSR status cannot be changed by any user. It will change automatically when all child work orders below that DSR, which means that all connected work orders closed. Afterwards, DSR closed automatically, and the aircraft flown up. Afterwards, DSR closed automatically. And here is the pre-flight workflow. Actually, this workflow you will see that nearly the same with other work orders like daily check, servicing, cabin lock defect, and data lock defect. We will see the details in the following parts. And here again, maintenance, certifying staffs and engineering department can open a pre-flight work order. And after that, there's an MCC approval required. After this MCC approval, no one from the MCC, MMN, DCS, CS groups, which means the all certifying staffs actually, or can be named as maintenance department. No one can modify this data. Only engineering department can modify this data after the MCC approval. Here, by the MCC approval, I mean that you know that MCC group is from Antalya, so MCC group need to confirm all data, including the Dutch certifying staff group. Actually, I will give the explanation about how to approve any work order in the system for the MCC approved by MCC status. We will see that process in the following parts of the video. And after MCC approval, you see there is a tree again. This tree contains actually the engineering department processes. Engineering department has I will explain this only in this workflow, but will not explain in the next workflows. This tree means that there's two control in the engineering department. One of them is the technical content control. One of them is the data completeness control. In data completeness control, our data and statistic groups take the hard copy papers and match with the system data. If there is any gap or missing item or missing information, it will be corrected by the engineering department. And at the technical department, as you can understand, we are checking the content of all the data entry. If both controls performed, the status of related work order, here it is the pre-flight, will be closed. Here is the final status. And here is the daily check and servicing work orders. As I said previously, these are same with the pre-flight workflow. The workflow is totally same again. As you can see, engineering and maintenance departments can open, and after that MCC and maintenance manager groups can approve, and after that data need to be approved by the engineering department by this tree, which I just explained. And afterwards, data log defect. Actually, this is the same also with the cabin log defect, and also the same that I previously explained. Maintenance and engineering departments can open. MCC and maintenance manager groups can need to be approved, and after that, engineering department will close related data entry, actually work order. And here is the NEF workflow. NEF workflow, there are limited statuses for an NEF action. After NEF opened by a data log entry, data log defect entry, this status will stay as open until it's closed by the 145 organization. After again NEF item is closed at data log, by a data log defect entry by the certifying staffs, the status will state as defined as closed by 145 organization. And afterwards, after all these engineering checks, engineering department checks like here were performed, the status will be automatically turned to the closed. And here is the hold item. Actually, this is again same with the NEF that I just explained. It will be opened until closed by 145 organization by entering a close hill action at the data log defects page. And here is the cabin nef finally. Cabin nef is again the same, but all the actions of the cabin nef need to be performed by the cabin log defect entry. After cabin log defect closing action entry, the status of the related cabin NEF turned into the closed by 145. And finally, when all related work orders close, the status will turn to close automatically. So these are the workflows of each work order type. As you can understand, there is a key point. Every time MCC need to close in every work order, MCC need to approve the works performed in their shift before leaving the office. This is the key issue, because without this approval, engineering department cannot start their engineering approval process this process will be blocked by the program and waiting for the MCC approval. Now let's go to the program and to our software and explain how to approve a work order. There's two ways of approving work order. At first I will do let me explain these two ways. One way is to close each work order by their work order page. These action can be performed as you can see from here. The closing action for the hold item NEF and cabin NEF, here it is, are automatical, and also it is automatic for the, let me show you, for the DSR. So these actions can be performed pre-flight, daily check, servicing, data log defect, and cabin log defect. These items can be closed one by one. Actually, for all of them, the situation is same. Let me show you only one of these, and you have to apply the same procedure for the other ones. Here is a data log defect. For example, as you can see, the status is performed. Double click on this to open the record page, and also you can use these icons. I guess you already learned this from our previous videos. After you getting into the record page, you should just change the status from performed to approved by MCC. As you can understand, we just click here, select from here approved by MCC, and press the save button. And after now, I don't have any right to modify any data existing in this work order page. Let's try to make an example on this issue. As you can see, we just changed the status from approved by MCC, from performed to approved by MCC. I'm making the release time from 13 to 13.1 and try to save. And yes, only .eng and emn groups can update this record. And as you know, these groups are the groups of the engineering department. So after MCC approval, no one can modify, no certifying staff can modify the data. So this is the approval process of work orders one by one. That there is another way. This way is inserted there for only simplicity. If I am a shift supervisor and I can confirm that aircraft was landed and flight away in my shift, at that time I can go to DSR page. For example, this assume that, let's open this. Here it is. Let's assume that this aircraft was landed and taken off in my shift, and afterwards I want to confirm, actually approve all these datas. At that time I should go to the DSR, select the related record, and after that came to child work orders page. From here you will see, we can see that all activities performed in that DSR. So let's go to work order side. There is a column named as work order here. For example, there is a servicing entry and I want to check this. There is a way to do that. Sorry. Come to the work order field double click on this record, and after that a menu will be opened. As you can see, this is servicing, so I have to select servicing from here, and related servicing work order was opened instantly on my screen. I can check by double clicking. I can go to the record view just as I just do now. I can come to here, check the performance, etc. And after I check and think that it's correct, I can check the other one. Then this is pre-flight, etc. And after you check all of these data entries, you can came back to the record view of suspect DSR and change the status of the DSR from performed to approved by MCC. And when you save this record entry, when you save DSR work order, let's go to the child work order area. As you can see, status of the all child work orders which were tied to suspect DSR has a new status which is approved by MCC. So this process also changed the status of the child work orders from performed to approved by MCC. By this way, you can save some time and approve all the work performed in suspect's ground time. But please be careful to not close the approved DSR if suspect aircraft was not taken off in your shift, because in that case some other people can come in the further times and made some actions on the aircraft and tied these actions to suspect DSR. This DSR approval procedure can only be performed for the DSRs which ground time has finished during in your shift time. And actually these are all for the MCC approval process. And oh, sorry, there is one more issue. In all work order pages, including, let's open DSR, including DSR, when you go to the list view like this, there is a label as open DSR. Here it is open DSR. As you can understand, these open DSR means that the DSRs which are not approved by the MCC. Let's go to the other work orders. Here is the data log defect. As you can see, DLD means here data log defect. Data log defect work orders for MCC approval. When you click this, the status of these work orders are performed. So these you can see that if there is any missing item that you need to approve before leaving your shift. And also here is the cabin log defect. Please please check that these statements are same, all of them, only the CLD is changing, and previously it's DLD because it was a data log defect. As you can see, all work orders that are waiting for the MCC approval can be seen by a auto filtering option. When you click this, all these will be listed, and also they will be in order from the recent one to the old one. So the items that you need to approve should be some of the top. So now these are all for the approval process of the MCC for work order types, and I hope it's clear enough. Thank you for listening.